Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So first up for primer, I'm using the Model Co face base, and obviously just applying that all over my face just with my hands, and then I go in with the Benefit Professional and just apply that on both sides of my nose and on my chin, just because I find that these areas of my face are the most textured, so I just like to even them out for a more flawless application. And then for foundation, I'm using one of my favorites at the moment, which is the Tarte Amazonian Clay. This one's in the shade Tan Sand. I've actually recently been using this one in my kit and really loving it. So I'm just applying that all over my face with a damp beauty blender. Then taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium and just using that underneath my eyes to conceal and highlight. Then I go ahead to place it on my chin, Cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, and then on my forehead, and then blending it all in with a damp beauty blender as well. Then going in with my fave translucent powder, the Laura Mercier one, and I'm just applying that directly underneath the eyes to bake the area. Then just taking the Mellow Cosmetics Brow Pomade, I think this one's in the shade Brunette, and just using that to lightly fill in my brows. So now taking some more concealer, I'm just using that on a concealer brush and just using that to define the brow. So I just like to go straight underneath and straight above. Then taking the Australis Fresh and Flawless Face Powder in the shade Medium Tan and just using that to set the rest of my foundation, just using a large powder brush for this. Then taking legit the most beautiful Hourglass palette I've ever seen in my life, I'm taking the bronzer shade out of it and just using that to obviously bronze up my face just on an angled brush. So just placing that on my cheeks, and then I go ahead to put it on my forehead, jawline, and then on the sides of my nose as well. Then just to add a little bit more warmth, I'm going in with one of my favorite bronzers, the Too Faced Sweethearts one, and just placing that in the same areas. Then taking the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, I'm taking the middle shade and I'm using that to contour. I forgot how much I love this. I literally bought this like a year ago and I've just, I don't know, just put it in the back of my drawers and forgot to use it, but I literally love it so much, so I've recently started using it again. And then I'm just going to go in with the blush from that gorgeous Hourglass Holiday palette and just placing that on the apples of my cheeks. Then taking this new highlighting palette from NYX, it's called the Strobe of Genius palette, and oh my gosh, I was so surprised. It is so pigmented. I love this palette, and it's drugstore, so thank God I found a affordable drugstore highlighter that I can use in my tutorials. Then I'm just taking some more of that concealer and just using that to prime my eyelids, and of course setting them as well in place just with some translucent powder. So important to set the eyelids just because the eyeshadow will just blend way easier. Then taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Makeup by Mario palette, literally my favorite palette right now, and taking Isabel and just using that in my crease and slash all over my eyelid. And yeah, it's just a really, really pretty, like burnt orangey type transition color, and just using that on a large fluffy brush. Then taking a Violetta, which I've hit pan on, and oh my god, I was so upset that day. I'm just placing that on the same areas that I applied the first color, just to deepen it up a little bit. Then I'm also placing Violetta on my lower lash line as well. So now for the fun bit, I'm just taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light on a concealer brush, and this is where I'm going to cut the crease. So to find your crease, all you have to do is open and then just literally start the cut from a little bit above your natural crease, just so it gives the illusion of a bigger crease. I'm not the best at explaining things, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Then I'm just taking a synthetic style brush just to blend out the concealer. Then I'm just taking a little bit more of Violetta on a more tapered brush just to define the crease a bit more. Then taking Cypress Umber from the Modern Renaissance palette, also by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and just kind of placing that on the outer corners only and blending it out, and also placing that on the lower lash line area as well. Then taking the Urban Decay liquid liner in the shade Distortion, and placing that all over my lid. I love using glitter liquid liners as opposed to loose glitters because obviously they're a lot cleaner and they feel a little bit more comfortable on the eyelid. I'm not saying loose glitters don't feel like uncomfortable, but you can definitely feel them on the eyelid. So if you're like one that has like sensitive eyes or like is prone to like creasing on the lid, then I would 100% recommend glitter liquid liners if you want that glittery look. So yeah. Then taking the Rimmel Scandalize liquid liner, and I'm just using that just to line the top of the eyelid. Then taking the Kylie Cosmetics Dark Bronze Gel Liner, and I'm just using that in my waterline. Then just popping on some lashes. I'm pretty sure I use the Billion Lashes in the style Cassie. If they're not, I'll leave them listed down below. Then taking Soar Lip Liner by MAC and using that to line my lips. Then for lipstick, I'm using the Smashbox Be Legendary lipstick in the shade Safe Word, and I was like obsessed with the color, and the formula of these are so nice as well. Super creamy and pigmented. And then for gloss on top, I'm just using a Too Faced Lip Injections gloss. I'm pretty sure this one's in the shade Milkshake. So that's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I loved how it turned out, and I hope I give you guys a little bit of inspo for this year's New Year's Eve. That didn't even make sense. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.